Ghost Bath is not a black metal outfit from China. They're actually a band from North Dakota. Ghost Bath have been a bit of an interesting band to discuss among metal fans. I can't really say I'm a metal fan myself. I'm actually quite new to exploring this genre, but I have been incredibly intrigued by the black metal genre. I just like the sound of it. I love how smoky and shrouding and dark the atmosphere is. It can be considered quite depressive as well. However, in 2013, Death Heaven came out with an album called Sunbather. I know what you're thinking. Why am I bringing up Death Heaven? We're talking about Ghost Bath in this review. Well, Sunbather is actually a very common comparison to Ghost Bath's sophomore record, which is also their most acclaimed, Moon Lover. You see, the similarities between Sunbather and Moon Lover, they have similar sounds. They maintain this blissful, uplifting kind of take on the black metal genre with this shoegaze influence as well. Black gaze, as they call it. Very prominent post-rock influences as well, with tremolo guitars and just the use of the instrumentation as if it were some orchestra, creating massive walls of sound that are just colossal and massive. And these albums had very similar moments. They had these incredibly lush, calm, serene moments contrasted by these colossal, awe-inspiring... I liked Sunbather because for the time this was a very original sound to kind of adapt. Whereas I think Moon Lover kind of I don't want to say ripped it off, but they kind of ripped it off. By no means was it like an awful record. I did think some of the vocals were a little bit obnoxious, but I don't think the album sonically was bad. There's also the fact that one track on Sunbather is called Dream House, the other Happy House. I decided going into this new Ghost Bath album, this was different. This was a lot more different. I noticed that Ghost Bath had taken a cleaner sound, and this album is around 70 minutes long. It's over an hour. It's got to offer something marginally interesting for its full length in order to keep me captivated. And Starmourner is one of the most patience-testing metal albums I've heard this year. First off, I know that black metal isn't renowned for its incredible production. It's not renowned for the clearest, most high-fidelity recordings. It seems the traditional recording style of a black metal album can be quite cloudy and smoky, and Starmourner takes this incredibly clean, polished, sanitized approach to production. And it's not like you get faced with these really large post-rock sort of walls of guitar sound that are just blossoming on every single track, but what kills it, the drums. They are literally so plastic and so boxy and it sounds so synthesized that they literally kill off any chance of the album being as colossal and as awe-inspiring as it's clearly trying to be. A lot of the rhythms are very much taken out of like pop-punk albums. They have this weird kind of pop-punk energy to them that really just sounds so out of place. And this repeats, and repeats, and repeats, and repeats for the entire album. This is an album with the least amount of variety, and it's not like the sound that they're going for is so interesting in the first place where you can at least kind of get lost in its atmosphere, because on this album there is a lack of atmosphere. Ultimately generic listen with like no emotional impact in them, because it's like trying to replicate a black gaze sound or like a post-rock sound, but I'm not feeling like any sort of emotional passion radiating from this album. And the fact that this really flat album that sounds like it's lacking in any sort of passion lasts for over an hour makes for a really challenging listen, and not in the best way at all. The final track is a little bit of a change of pace, I will say that. It kind of has a bit more of this lush, serene kind of sound, very much takes on these keyboards and these strings. Again, the production is so synthesized, they sound like MIDI keyboards, MIDI keyboards, and the result is so fruitless. They sound like they were in some kind of Game Boy Advance video game. And don't get me started on the vocals. Because they were a bit of an irk on Moon Lover, but on here they are even more just incredibly... What's going on? Wah! 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 To be honest, I wasn't really a fan of this album at all. I don't really dig it, and I really hope I don't have to listen to it again. 2 out of 10.